Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the top 5 best weapons in Borderlands 4, and this is in Ultimate Vault Hunter 5. You can see here, this gun absolutely shreds. Now I'm just going to first dive off right into some honorable mentions, then we'll get into the top 5 list here. So, Ballistic Bod, this gun is incredible because it counts as a shotgun, assault rifle, sniper rifle, pistol, and SMG all at the same time. Which means if you have a class mod that, let's say, adds 45% sniper rifle damage and a 40% kinetic damage, that gets boosted onto this shotgun. So it's one of the most versatile and can fit on really any type of build. My personal favorite gun here is the Plasma Coil. This didn't make the top 5 list. This returns from Borderlands 3. It's not as overpowered as it was in Borderlands 3, but it's still extremely powerful because it brings a shock element and radiation. Now, shock is very common in this game. There's a lot of shields, but what it does is it shoots these big bursts of damage that is really... It's a little bit harder to land, but if you get in close with it, it just absolutely shreds through shields and deals radiation damage really quickly because it always comes with both these two elements on it. It has a really fast reload time too. You just like flop it down like that. This is one of my favorite weapons and it's very powerful. Then we also got Burt's Bees here because this gun is super useful at close range. There's actually a lot of good SMGs in this game. You can see there, it's kind of, you want to almost use it like it's a shotgun and then you can throw the gun away there too, but this comes in a variety of different elements and hits fast. Honestly, all the SMGs are pretty good. Like the Hellfire is great for fire damage, and the Prince Harmon can be a pretty interesting one, especially if you're able to get even further overshield. TK's Wave is actually a really good gun in this game as well because of the particles being able to ricochet to multiple enemies. But there's some really good shotguns in the game. So things like the Hellwalker, Rainbow Vomit, which can come with random elemental damage, aren't unfortunately making it on this list because they are extremely powerful, yes, but we have 2 really good shotguns on this list as well. Pretty much any legendary shotgun is going to be good. Even the purple shotguns are powerful in this game. And our final honorable mention is the Oscar Mike here. Now, this has 2 different versions. There's one that has the space laser, and there's one with the fire. The space laser one is the preferred gun, because whenever you have this, you can press it, go ahead here and drop down like this huge nuclear attack. It drops a laser, and it's going to destroy most bosses. The gun itself is pretty powerful as well, but not enough to make it on our top 5. So for our 5th best weapon in Borderlands 4, we have the Stray Sniper Rifle. Now, what makes this gun so good is if you can find the Jacob's License accessory for this gun, it'll critical hit chain to multiple enemies. And it also auto locks on enemies. This is one of the easiest guns in the game to use, but it shreds because it's a sniper that fires quickly and can auto aim. So this is the boss from the start here. If you got the throwing knife that does automatic critical hits, you can just go in there and just do your easy critical hits. This is on Ultimate Vault Hunter 5, and you can see there, it shreds through his health bar, and those critical hits were chaining to multiple enemies. Honestly though, what makes this gun so good is that auto aim, being able to apply those critical hits to multiple enemies at a time. You don't really have to play too much, you can just focus on staying alive and avoiding any of the elemental traps on the ground, and it's great for handling flyers. The damage potential is super high on it, like you'll typically get like an 8000 DPS on level 50 here, and in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, making sure that you hit every single shot is important. This obviously pairs very well with the gun, or the knife that gives you those critical hits automatically, because then those will all chain around to multiple enemies. It has a scope, but the scope doesn't really matter. You can also get it unscoped too, but you can see there, super useful because you're just able to constantly damage enemies with it. No matter what, honestly, it's super overpowered. So this has got to be one of the best weapons in the game, and number 5 for sure. We do have one other sniper rifle that can out-damage it, but it's due to a weird mechanic. Now, where Vex really utilizes Stray to get her lifesteal back from that gun, I think that the best choice for using Lucian's Flank, our 4th weapon on this list, is actually Amon here. Now, you can get Lucian's Flank in a variety of different elemental types. I like the cold one because it is really strong with the cold. Now, what makes this weapon so good is critical hits will refill 2 ammo to the gun's magazine. It has an extra barrel to shoot even quicker, and critical hits can ricochet to nearby enemies utilizing that Jacob's License accessory. It's got pretty good damage, but it shoots really fast. Again, this one pairs very well with any type of knife that can give you those critical hits on all attacks, and the damage potential from this is pretty crazy. So just to show it off there, your critical hits will chain to multiple enemies, and this is just the regular fire rate. You can actually make it shoot a lot faster as well. It has a quick reload too, which is a nice thing for these guns that have a very high magazine and fire fast. So that's a normal fire rate, and then you can press B or your right control stick to be able to change this over to the faster firing mode here, where the damage output is a lot higher. This gun really benefits if you can get those critical hits to bounce around like many other guns in this game. The freeze is really potent on it as well, although there are some enemies that are resistant to the freeze, so that's something you got to keep in mind. You can see there, critical hits for days. This damage isn't looking anything nuts here because I'm playing on a high difficulty, but yeah, it can put out a lot of damage pretty quickly and also chain around to multiple enemies. This wasn't the greatest example of it, but you get the idea there. You can see it's bouncing around to multiple enemies. Applying the freeze, this boss is unfortunately resistant to that, but yeah, at a distance, this gun is also relatively accurate too, so that's a great thing about it. And yeah, you get it in multiple different elements as well, so you can get fire, corrosive, etc., depending on what your build needs. So yeah, this one is a really fun weapon to use overall, and a powerful one at that. But you can see here that against certain bosses with a lot of health, it is a little bit less powerful. And you can see, even with the full ability to get critical hits, it does still waste your bullets, too. You have to get the headshots properly to be able to get those bullets back, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Now, our next gun is the Katagawa's Revenge here, which comes with both fire and shock damage, but this isn't where it's really good. You can see it has a pretty low DPS number compared to a lot of other guns here, like 8,000, 5,000, somebody got 1,000. This is actually kind of shocking because it does a lot of damage with the special particles that they bring out. And if you're playing as Harlow, she can really take advantage of this because a specific skill tree upgrade here, the Neutron Capture, whenever you use her special ability here to shoot the Chrome Accelerator, you can add 4% of the total damage that you do with your ultimate to your gun damage. So this bonus radiation damage is actually kind of weird. I think it's glitched. It may get patched. We'll have to wait and see. But this adds that extra radiation damage onto every little particle that you get from this gun. So just to show you what it looks like, you can see there, we got those little particles popping out. I'm getting shot right up. But they're dealing damage over time. And it's pretty good damage over time. This is without it being upgraded at all. But once you add in your ultimate, this becomes even crazier. So that's the shock ones. There also is fire ones that shoot little exploding beads that come down onto the ground and then explode, dealing extra damage. The shock ones will consistently shock them, so those ones are a little bit better. But still, the extra damage will apply to those too. So if you were to use your ultimate ability here and get that extra radiation damage, you can then shred enemies down whenever you, I guess I didn't explode it there, and there's the extra radiation damage, just absolutely melted him. So yeah, it gets pretty silly. You can almost insta-kill anybody here, because yeah, we're all out of ammo even, but so if we use our action skill again here, you can use the action skill at any time to burst it if you want to get that extra damage off, so you can go ahead, blow it up, boom, and then you shoot those extra, yeah, it literally melted that boss so quickly. It's insane how much damage you can output. This weapon is almost a little bit too powerful to showcase how much damage it does, because with this ability here, you get that huge boost to your damage, and then every time, yeah, 3,000 damage per second added onto those little things. Yeah, it melts everything. I do anticipate this one will get nerfed, because, yeah, for those 8 seconds after you use your action skill, everything in its wake gets destroyed instantly. So against a boss encounter here, so critical hit knives as well also work really well. Get this to pop off, blow up your ability there, and then get that extra, yeah, it literally just one-shot that boss. It's ridiculous how high a damage you can get with this, and especially on Ultimate Vault Hunter 5 mode, because yeah, some of those things have insane amounts of health, and this, with all those extra projectiles, will literally melt things. I do anticipate this will get nerfed, because I feel like that's not fully anticipated that this will combo together, but yeah, Harlow takes great advantage of this. Now, I talked about weapon for every single Vault Hunter except for Rafa, and he actually has the second best weapon in the game. This actually works for every single character, but it's best utilized on him, and I'll show you why. So, the Hot Slugger is extremely powerful. Every time you get a kill, you get plus 30% damage for 10 seconds, so you can get upwards of a plus 90% damage. Critical hits will ricochet to nearby enemies. It has one pellet in the chamber, and it has a huge pellet. It shoots like a baseball. Now, the thing is, Rafa actually has two abilities on his skill tree that boost up the damage. So he's got the Vitriol here, which will add 55% bonus corrosive damage on the first bullet after you reload your magazine. So that's an extra 55% corrosive damage on every single shot of that gun. And then on top of that, the first impression here from his blue skill tree adds 50% gun damage on a fully loaded magazine. So yeah, that combines together, especially with some of the other class mods you can get, increasing your kinetic damage. And if you got one that increases overall shotgun damage, you're in good place. Also paired with things like the Deadeye, which every critical hit will grant 15% critical hit damage per stack for 5 stacks. Yeah, you get to one-shotting really well. Just to showcase this, so going with your grenades there, this really works well if you can have multiple enemies at a time. And every critical hit is further boosting up your damage too, so then it gets absolutely nuts. This, yeah, you're taking out his full health bar pretty much just like that. This can one-shot, especially if you have some of the different abilities to boost up your shot, like if you go with the amping version of the rep kit, which adds 200% extra damage. So yeah, this gun is one that relies heavily on momentum, but yeah, you can get your damage going up really high with this one. Now this gun really benefits when you can have multiple enemies around, especially during mobbing, because you can see there, one headshot means that everything in the vicinity is just going to get absolutely destroyed, as it got the ability to chain around to multiple enemies. This is a great gun for both single targets, but also if there's a bunch of them in a surrounding area. It shoots a very large projectile as well, and it's actually, you can see there, pretty easy to get headshots off with this gun. That's, I guess, one of the other nice things. It's kind of like the Stray in that regard. Obviously a little bit more aiming required, but yeah, the damage from this gun is pretty absurd. Further boosted if you're able to get the amp charge off first, so this will boost up the damage a lot. And then yeah, we're hitting for like 1,000,000 there. It's pretty nuts what you can do with this gun, especially whenever there's a bunch of enemies. And then if there's a big enemy like this, you can just go pretty crazy with it and destroy its health bar very fast, as you can see there. There is one gun that's a little bit quicker to kill, but a little bit more chaotic. This would be my choice for a gun if you're just looking for an easy one to play around with and you just want to do high amounts of damage. It'd be this or the Stray, in all honesty, because they just work for anyone. I also really like this gun on Vex. I did say that Rafa uses this the best, but Vex can become pretty much immortal with this gun. And our final gun is so insanely powerful. It works on a variety of different builds. Personally, I like it on Amon, or if you're going to use the skill tree for Vex that allows her Spectres to be able to get her a gun. Because this gun, with the Jacob's License accessory, will chain multiple explosions around, taking out everybody. It's crazy. You can choose between radiation and incendiary fire. The fire is just extremely high damage. And you want to have one specific item here is the onion shield, because whenever you break an armor segment, you get immunity to damage for 2 seconds. This creates a huge explosion when paired with a critical hit knife that's just going to take out everybody. So what this weapon does, I would recommend making sure that you're able to get a critical hit throwing knife off first, and then it'll shoot off those extra fragments. So it gets a little crazier once you get like a boss enemy going out, because then you can just blast away. We got a bit of the explosions going around here. Doesn't really do a whole lot because it wipes out every enemy in basically one hit. And there you go, that's what happened. I unfortunately knocked myself down. Expect yourself to go down often while utilizing this gun because the chain reactions are just crazy. They go everywhere. You don't need to use a critical hit knife, but you gotta land headshots, which are not easy with this gun because it shoots them pretty randomly. But against some of the stronger enemies in this game, it can get nuts, because you can go, yeah, you can see right there. It's absurd. The more health the enemy has, almost the better in this. You will go down often, but you'll oftentimes second wind yourself. And the thing is, the chains will also keep chaining to multiple enemies. Yeah, it gets nuts. So there's the boss. We're just going to shoot at it. It's a little bit hard to land these shots again, but you see there, once you land them, it explodes everything in the vicinity quickly. It's insane the amount of damage that you can do, and yeah, the onion shield is almost essential for this because it protects you when you get blown up. It can also knock you flying around too. That's the other thing, is you can kind of do the old Team Fortress 2 grenade hop where you jump up and shoot it at your feet like that. Sometimes it will knock you down, but the good thing is anytime there's enemies nearby, they're not going to survive this because it just absolutely shreds through anything and sends grenades flying all over the map, so it's strong. Again, super useful against bosses. You can get the critical hit knife off against them and just completely destroy. Yeah, that killed both bosses. I didn't even see the other boss because those grenades went flying around to everybody. So yeah, it's absurd. The damage you can do with this gun, it's fun too. The reason this is a #1 gun is just because it'll destroy everything. I didn't even see the other boss, and it destroyed the boss that quickly. The Hot Slugger is probably better if you want more of a balanced experience and don't have to worry about blowing yourself up. But as I mentioned, Vex's skill tree where she can let her Spectre use the gun, it counts it as a friendly. You can throw the critical hit knife of the enemy, they'll shoot at it with this gun and blow them up. It becomes absurd how much damage you can do with this gun, and that's why I would say that the Kickballer here is the most powerful weapon in Borderlands 4. Second most, Hot Slugger, but 2 shotguns that absolutely dominate this game. We also have the Lucian's Flank here, we had Katagawa's Revenge, and the Stray weapon. Wombo Combo is another one that I didn't mention, but that's a very useful one. The rockets that you get from that are ballistic damage, so they will apply any bonuses to ballistic damage that you may have. But there it is, those are the top 5 most powerful weapons in Borderlands 4. If you want to see another video like this, let me know in the comments. I was thinking about doing like best purple weapons or best overall items, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day, and we'll catch you all in the next video.